Imagine a vast desert. The sun beats down, sand stretches as far as the eye can see, but then a miracle appears. A ribbon of blue cuts through the harsh landscape. This is the Nile River, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. For thousands of years, the Nile has been more than just a river. It was the source of life itself. Its annual floods brought fertile soil to the land. This allowed the Egyptians to grow crops and thrive. Without the Nile, there would be no Egypt. Along the banks of this great river, a civilization blossomed. The ancient Egyptians built massive temples and towering pyramids. These structures still amaze us today. They stand as testament to human ingenuity and the power of the Nile. The Nile was their lifeline, it was their highway, and it was the inspiration for their greatest achievements. Before there was Egypt, there were two lands. Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt existed separately. They were divided by the flow of the Nile. But then a powerful king emerged. His name was Menes. Around 3100 BC, Menes united the two kingdoms. This unification marked the beginning of Egyptian civilization as we know it. Menes established the first dynasty of pharaohs. The pharaoh was more than just a king, he was considered a god on earth. With a single ruler, Egypt prospered. The pharaohs brought stability and order. They commanded vast resources and manpower. This allowed them to embark on ambitious building projects. These projects would leave a lasting mark on history. The pyramids of Egypt are some of the most iconic structures on Earth. These massive tombs were built for the pharaohs. They were designed to help them journey into the afterlife. The most famous of all is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Imagine this. Over 2 million blocks of stone, each weighing tons, were used to build the Great Pyramid. It took thousands of workers decades to complete. The precision and scale of the construction are astounding. The Great Pyramid is more than just a tomb. It's a testament to the ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians. Their understanding of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy is evident in its design. It stands today as a symbol of a civilization that reached for the stars. Section 4. Gifts of the Nile. The Nile River was the key to ancient Egypt's agricultural success. The Egyptians developed sophisticated irrigation systems. These systems allowed them to control the flow of the river. They could water their crops and create a surplus of food. Every year the Nile would flood. This flood deposited rich silt onto the land. This silt acted as a natural fertilizer. The Egyptians used this to their advantage. They became masters of agriculture. This agricultural abundance freed up people to specialize in other areas. Some became artisans, creating beautiful pottery and jewelry. Others became scribes, recording their history and beliefs. Section 5. Order in the kingdom. Ancient Egyptian society was highly structured. At the top was the pharaoh. He was considered a living god. Below him were priests, nobles, and government officials. Scribes and artisans held important roles. At the bottom of the hierarchy were farmers and laborers. Despite their position, they were essential to the functioning of society. They provided the food and labor that allowed the civilization to flourish. This hierarchical system, while rigid, provided stability. It allowed for the organization and management of large-scale projects. These projects included the construction of pyramids, temples, and irrigation systems. Section 6. A legacy in stone. The ancient Egyptians were deeply religious people. They believed in many gods and goddesses. These gods controlled different aspects of nature and human life. The pharaoh was seen as an intermediary between the gods and the people. Religion permeated every aspect of Egyptian life. It influenced their art, architecture, and burial practices. The Egyptians built magnificent temples to honor their gods. They filled these temples with intricate carvings and paintings. The legacy of ancient Egypt is vast. They left behind a wealth of knowledge in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Their art and architecture continue to inspire us today. Theirs is a story of innovation, perseverance, and the enduring power of human civilization.